and nice to have you on this show, The Woman. My name is Elizabeth Abai. Now, I was talking with a little girl some time ago and she asked me a question. I always thought I knew it, but I was taken aback a little bit. Eventually, I found an answer. What was that question? She said, what does it mean for somebody or something to be classic? I didn't know whether to refer her to a classroom setting or something, but I just simply told her that doing things that are normally regular, but doing it in a special way, stands you out, makes you classic. My guest today is one of such personality who has actually tried to twist certain things around that you and I may have been very used to growing up. And then she said, no, we're not going to have it the way it used to be. We're going to make it very classy, very, if you pardon my choice of the word, romantic. And that's about the Kuli. Who is this personality? Let's take a break and we'll come back and meet her. My personality of the day. She is one woman who went into school and decided to study litigation, or the arbitration, and all the shons that are involved in the law or legal department. She is a lawyer. She is an entrepreneur. She is a creative director. She's also a public speaker. Join me as I say, welcome to my show to Hajara Nagado.
Thank you very much.
So I just told the world that you actually read law and
yes, I did.
Moved up. Did you ever practice?
For a very short while. I practiced in '94 with the Capital Chambers. Then I moved on to Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority. And then I worked in my state as the DG Women in Cooperatives, where I got these ideas from. And I'm actually actualizing it now. So from then on, I came back to Abuja and worked with the FCT Judiciary as a director, as a deputy chief registrar. It's the same as a director anyway. And then when I retired a few years ago, I retired early. The 8-year rule caught up with me. And then I decided, before I retired, I'd started something like with this Kuli crackers. And this is where it has gotten me to.
You know, somebody once asked me some years back, what the name for Kuli is in English. I actually didn't know, so we coined something. But you have given it Kuli crackers. How did you get to that name?
It involved my son. When he was like 4 years old, we were thinking of a name. We wrote Kuli crackers. And crackers is spelled with C. So when we spelled it, he said, this one, you are not spelling crackers, you are spelling srasas or sraskas or something. So we decided to go with what? I said, okay, how do you spell it? He said Krakers is okay. So we just decided to go with the name. So that's how it came came about. Yes, and it's a direct spelling. Because most kids, crackers, they don't spell it with C. They will start with K.
It's so that's okay. Sometimes I think there's something wrong with English. We need to rejuvenate it and get the right things done.
So even if an Englishman wants to take it, if he sees the crackers with the K, he knows what it should be.
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
Okay, back to the product itself. You say you started it some years back, 4 years or so?
I started it in 2015, I believe. But I had the idea since 2001. When I was working with my state, I worked with women in cooperatives. Quite a lot of my friends, whenever I'm traveling or when they come into town, they're always asking, please, we want Kuli, but we want the good one, not the one with the sand, not the one that will break my teeth. So I lived with a neighbor who does Kuli. So the government helped her out. They gave her some machines, simple machines that you can operate with your hand. And she started doing it for me. And I started sending it to people, and they liked it because it was neat and it wasn't as thick. It wasn't as thin as this, but we made it not as thick as the normal one that would break your teeth when eating. And people really loved it. So when I came to Abuja, when I finished my work there, I came to Abuja and I married somebody from Abaji. I saw that they were doing this flat kind of kuli. When you see them on the road, so I decided that, okay, let's make this in a Pringley form. And we did till we got the right measurement of the Pringley form of Kuli crackers.
You did, because it showed me that you were going into research trial period and all of that. How did it take? How long did it take?
It took like, I can't say, but I believe it took like, before we could get to this particular thinness, it took like 6 months, because the women I was working with, they didn't understand where I was headed to, I got them these sprinkles. They said, this sprinkle, this thin one, how can we do it? And it's not going to be possible. I said, let's just try. So when they do, I share it out. I don't sell it. We share it out, even to them to take home, to have breakfast with it, with their cocoa and everything, or tea or whatever, till we got this and I was satisfied. When we were doing it, they were thinking that this woman has too much money. She's like,
wasting
there's something wrong with this woman. But I knew what I wanted, and I got it in the end.
It tells me about perseverance and the success that comes with it. Because at the end of the day, I keep telling people the wood we sit on, like the seat you're sitting on, didn't come easy. It came through a lot of the torture by the hands of the carpenter, turning from tree to dead wood to seat.
Yes.
So we need to persevere and never give up to succeed. Now, I'll still go back to the product. Luckily, I've been able to open one and see what you are talking about completely. That's a thin size. And, all right, it's actually almost transparent. That's nice. While we talk, I'll take a bite.
Okay.
All right, what is the acceptance of this now?
It's widely accepted. I believe people had wanted something like this. It's widely accepted, but you get the negative side from people as well. They will say it's too expensive. I said, well, it should be expensive. We take a lot in doing it. I have a factory. It has not been done in a factory setting where you have machines, where you have stainless steel tables, where you have to go through all the NAFDAC whatever to get it right, and things like that. So it's a high-end product, I know, because people come to tell me now, you should do it for school children, this is expensive, there's Kuli in the market, it's 50 naira, it's 100 naira, it's 200 naira. Then I always tell them that you can get the 200 naira one. We have a population of about 200 million. I don't need to look elsewhere for where to sell my goods. I know where to, you carve a niche, you have a certain idea of who are the people you want to buy your things are targeted at. And this is what I did. And they love it because they don't want to go to the market to buy that one. They don't want to buy the roadside one. So they're in the middle, but they love Kuli. So I realized that it was a national thing and it could also be an international thing. And I just fit in there. And I'm okay with that.
But I'm actually enjoying what I'm eating. I'm always not. I almost don't want to talk Kuli anymore so I can get it done with. I want to know this. How long can I preserve it? Like, is it in the pack here? Can I keep it for as long as 1 month, 2 months?
Just a month. Just 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks, that's what we do. Okay. It doesn't get bad. When you buy groundnuts in a bottle, it has this, when it takes some time, it has this smell. Not that it's spoiled, but it has this smell. It's the same with that because the oil starts oozing out. But people still take it like that. But people ask me that, no, Hajara, it can take 3 months. I said, no, I just want it for a month. For airlines, we do for Air Peace, we just give it 1 week.
True. So, talking about your exports capacity at the moment, what is it like?
We have not started exporting. The challenge now for us is to get all our documents in order, get through the procedures. But as it is now, we have our hands full within the market in Nigeria. Because some people will say they want to do this for export. We already have an export capability because we have 200 million people there. It is those people that will export it. It's not you. I have a population of 200 million. If I get that 2 million, 3 million, one day 5 million, I'm okay with that. But people start their business that they want to export. It doesn't start like that. We have Nigerians exported all over the world. They're the ones that will carry your product. And they're the ones that will help you export it. You don't have to do everything.
That's a good one, but I will still look forward to going to Walmart
and seeing it.
To do some groceries abroad, and then I see this. It will make me really proud.
Yes.
So I hope you take a step towards that direction. I know it starts, gradually.
We're taking step by step. We started with a few shops, and now we're on an airline. We never expected to be on an airline. airline. So you can imagine how many we're making to meet up with that particular airline.
You seem to talk about this as if it's all rosy. Is it that easy to produce? Do you have challenges?
It's not easy to produce. When you look at the normal woman making kuli, you go around, you see the women in Niger, in Mina, in Abuja. You can see how difficult it is to make kuli. To flatten this is very hard, except now that we have an engine that flattens it. And we're even working on it, we're still tweaking on it to make it flatten. It's a very, very difficult job. To fry let me take the traditional method. You fry the oil on the groundnut. It takes a long time to do that, especially if you're doing a lot. You come and remove the oil, they do it manually. We have an engine to do that. Then you come and then you flatten it and you make it into the chits, the ones that you normally do. It takes a lot of work. And I appreciate those women, because I have women that have been in most of my women are in the kuli business that I drew. And now they said that this is easier.
They're more relaxed.
Yes, they're more relaxed. You can see the hardship in their faces, how on their body, how they had been, suffering. So this is a more relaxed thing. And at the end of the month, they get their pay and they leave.
A lot of times we complain about manpower problems. Are you getting the same?
When you're dealing with elderly people, because the elderly people, they don't like this packaging. They don't understand why we should be packaging and putting sellotape. And they can put it anyway. They'll say it's okay. They can put this even if it's not straight, they can put it anyhow. They say maybe it's like that. So you need to know where to place them. I have a younger group who love everything about this packaging. They think it's fantastic. And the older group will be looking at them and then I have those that flatten and remove the oil and fry. They're better at that. So I deal with them in such a manner, this group and this group.
I see understanding. Now, the oil you remove, and I'm told that it's one of the best oils. What's the byproduct used for? What do you do with the oil?
We sell it actually.
Okay.
We sell it. And, Kuli oil is different from groundnut oil. Okay. People don't realize it. The groundnut oil.
Is it Kuli oil?
This is Kuli oil.
Oh, wow.
This is Kuli oil.
Okay.
The groundnut, you fry the kuli inside the Kuli oil, the one that's removed from the dough. Mm-hmm. You fry, when you flatten it, you fry. That's what gives you that smell. When you're cooking with it, from the gates, you know that this is very good oil. Even when you go to buy akara, and like in Kano, when you go to buy akara, we know which woman is using the ordinary vegetable oil, and we know which one is using the Kuli oil. Because the smell attracts you to them. Okay. But it's more expensive.
Definitely.
Yes, it is more expensive because it's pure peanut oil.
What you do is quite consuming. And I also see, because when I try to get you, that's like almost 4 weeks now. I've been on until one seminar or the other. What are you doing? Is the seminar also part of you empowering people with what you know?
Well, when they started eating my product and seeing it on, especially I have a lot of requests. People eat it on the aeroplane. They now see the number because they allowed me to put my number and my address. And they started calling me and they said, "Okay, Hajara, how can we help our people, our women, at this, at that? Can you come and give us a talk?" And that's what I do sometimes. Okay. In a few weeks, I'll be in my state, Jigawa, and they want to partner with us to see how they can help because I always insist that without the grassroots economy, Nigerian economy will not work. So let them be just doing their own here, upstate, and we'll let us all be doing at the bottom, because you won't believe that I started this with 3,000 naira.
Is it like?
Yes.
As in 1, 2, 3?
3,000 naira. Because at that time the groundnut was 250 naira.
A cup?
A pan. It was 250 naira when I started. But now it's about, sometimes it's 1,002, sometimes 1,400, it gets to 1,400. So I always tell them that if the grassroots economy is gotten right, then people will have no problem. So this is what I did. You can imagine with this in Abuja, to grow. We're serving airpiece, we're serving few supermarkets, we're serving weddings and things like that. And we're good to go, we're okay.
You know, a lot of people may be wondering, how did a lawyer, abandon the wig, the jacket, the very cold rooms to go back to the kitchen to do what you were doing, because this is more like a kitchen job.
It is.
And I'm wondering, were you not discouraged? Were you not scared? I mean, money was being invested, like the women said, this woman is not well. She
yes.
stuff and they throw them away. So yes. Were you not daunted one way or the other?
I was. There's a point in my life that I was low. I was saying, Hajara, Kuli, people were saying that you won't open a chamber. You know people, you're popular. Why? And I said that this is what I want, because you find out, if you go back, your inner self, you find out that, because I used to love to cook, and still I love to cook. I
know you
good
took that
food
from your mother.
I know. If she's listening to me now, she'll be nodding her head that I didn't mention her name. Yeah, I know. So you find out your passion since when you were small. I loved cooking since when I was small. Yes, I love cooking. So in the end, that is where you go back to your passion.
True.
And that's what I did.
True. So what are you doing with talking to younger people? Because this is actually a very crucial point for me. A lot of people are looking up to certain careers and thinking that's where it all is, happening. And meanwhile, right around your feet, how I say what we're looking for in Sokoto is actually in your Sokoto.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, are you reaching out? Because a very important thing for me is mentorship, talking to the young people.
One thing I just started was I give free lectures for students that are probably in their sixth form, in their year 6, because from there they're going to university. Abroad, right, their career guidance, they take it very seriously, but we don't here. There's a questionnaire that if I go, I distribute to people. Once you tick those questions, you have a career consultant. He will tell you that this is the kind of job that would fit you or suit you. But we don't do like that. We leave them to choose their subjects whichever way they want, or the parents to insist that their children do these subjects. They should do chemistry, physics, because they want them to do medicine or something like that. Like me, I hated maths. In fact, I didn't like maths at all. I'm not ashamed to say I had F9 in maths. Because before, it never used to be, they said that you must have English and maths. During my time, it wasn't like that. You scored F9 and you go ahead and do your law. It wasn't like that. So there's some things that you need to take into consideration. Your passion. What is your interest? Some people love working with kids. Some people love working with vegetables or things like that, to put it in a tray and be very colorful and attractive. Yes. It's the responsibility of the school to guide you to your right profession. And it's also the responsibility of the parents not to force their children to say, you have to be a doctor. No, you have to be a lawyer. It didn't happen with me, but I just happened to be a lawyer, and I'm happy I did, because you see, this seal means it's of quality. As you know what the seal signifies. Yes, stamping in the seal. So that is why I used it to cover that, so that you know
I see
it's qualitative.
One of the reasons why you excel is because you were able to achieve level of education, and then you're putting whatever you studied in the classroom into the work you do.
Yes.
But then doing this job, I still go back to complain so that the world will hear that it took me time to get you. At one moment you're in Abuja, another moment you're in another state. Around. So I am wondering, how do you cope with family with all this hectic job?
Number one, I used to work a 9-to-5 job. So now I see that I have a lot of free time. I don't have young children. I have, my son is how old? 14. So I don't, there's no need to be at home 24 hours, because once you retire, if you don't have a job to do, definitely you'll go into depression. You won't have enough money to, because you will see that even if you're married, even if you have, but you need something to go to, everything to a job to do. You need some money to spend on this, on that, not for you to wait for your salary, before the salary was coming in and you're just spending it. So you need to bring in something as well, and I'm okay with that. My husband is okay with that. My son is okay with that. He's happy that I'm doing it in his hometown anyway. I didn't take it to my hometown. So I brought out the name because Abaji is written wherever we put Abaji. And he's happy with it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, what do you do when you're not busy? How do you relax?
I read. I read a lot of novels.
So which is your favorite novel?
Before, it used to be John Grisham. Before. But I haven't read John Grisham in quite a while. I write and read a lot on entrepreneurship. When I came early today, I knew you gave me an appointment for 10:30, but I came before 10 so that I could scribble something down. You don't want to be taken unawares or to be taken like a fool. You don't know what you're doing. So I read, more current, what is happening in the entrepreneurship world, more current now than I used to before.
Okay, so now you're into entrepreneurship, and I'm wondering, with what you have done and what you have experienced, because I know you have your associations, of entrepreneurs, do you think that Nigeria is faring well with, possessing the 200 million people, providing for them in terms of their creative innovation?
Not too good. Nigeria is not doing too good in that area. I'm in an association, it's called Business Visa. That's one association that I have joined, that I see the benefit of joining that association.
Okay.
It's called Business Visa Training Limited. And I don't know whether you've been to the office before. It's in Apple. You see the various products that the women on their own, like me on my own, with no loan, with no grant, that have gotten to this level.
I have been to the office.
You have been to the office. If a woman comes and tells you her experience on how she got to that, frustrated, depressed, all the negatives, because you don't see the government or the help that the government needs to put in place for you to have a smooth ride. We are an association where, and I'm a bit older than most of them. So you can see how the young women are doing. They're really struggling. They're trying. For me, I have to do a double effort because I'm a lot older and I started late.
You started when you started?
Yes, that's when God wanted me to start anyway. But you can see the struggles. We will say we want this, this thing has to be aligned like this for now. Why can't the government be taking it as a snack in their offices?
House.
We don't want you to give us money. No. We want you to say that, okay.
Patronize us.
Yes, we want you to say that, okay, if you have reached a certain level of quality, bring it. We'll buy it. Give it to your guests. Give it to people coming into Nigeria. Give us a place in the airport where we can put our things. But we're not getting that. You have to struggle to meet up with what you're doing, and it's not easy. It has been a rough for me sometimes, where I'll lie down on my bed in the evening after a hard day's work, and I say that, Hajara, is it Kuli you will be doing now? After you can open a chamber, people, one transaction can give you millions. But still, I might not be happy because that is still not my passion. And
very importantly, I wouldn't have been able to meet you because I don't have litigation issues.
Exactly.
And with this, I'm able to meet you and I'm learning even more. For women who are struggling to start, at any age entirely, I need you to advise them. Just look into the camera and speak to the big women out there. There's one or two.
For the women that want to start a business, you don't have to save a lot. Many people save. They will say they want 1 million, they want 2 million, they want 3 million before they start their business. That's a wrong approach. Number 2, you have to be very strong. You have to have tenacity. You have to be prepared to fight for what you believe in. These are the things that I should advise, especially the women. Because whether you're married or not, you end up spending your own money in that house. Once your income stops, then there's going to be a problem. Like for me, there's a standard I want. There's a standard that my parents brought me up with, and I won't go below that standard. So, and I don't expect my husband to fill that standard for me. Sometimes he does. Sometimes I do. Yeah, you're the one that will fill it for yourself.
Thank you for coming on the show, and
Thank you so
and for
much.
all who've been with us up until now. I know you have learned one or two things. Even if you didn't learn anything, please, you can go back to our site, NTA series, copy this, and watch over again. I'm sure you pick something that can help you, especially women who are thinking that they are stagnant. There's no point being in one place. Like Martin Luther King said, if you can't walk, you can. If you can't run, you can walk. If you can't walk, you can crawl. But whatever you do, do not be stagnant. That way, we cause and make the positive change we need in the world. My name again is Elizabeth Abai. And while you're enjoying your program or whatever you're doing at home, I don't want to eat this on air because. Ciao, ciao. Bye.